In this video, I want to introduce you to Rainer from UAP, who has gone from not getting his music heard on Spotify to literally getting tens of thousands of streams on his songs. Hey, it's John here at Hyped It, and in this video, I'm super excited to be speaking to Rainer from UAP. Hey, Rainer. And we're going to be talking about Rainer's journey as a music artist, because Rainer shared with me up front that he's actually gone from not getting his music heard on Spotify to now literally getting tens of thousands of streams on his songs. And I'm so excited to dive a little bit deeper with him and see how he went on this journey. And one of the other things that's actually really exciting about this interview is that Rainer lives very close to where I've grown up in Germany. So this almost feels like a call home, which makes this even more exciting for me. So again, Rainer, welcome. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you very much, John. Thanks for the opportunity. I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. Rainer, tell me about your journey. Like, what's your story as a musician in the music industry?
Yeah, I could start like when I was 7 years old. I began on a crappy Farfisa home organ, but I think you want to know because of my releasing history and so on. So I am doing my own music since 1992. I started on an Atari with a cracked Cubase version. I can confess it now, I think. And for many years, I only produced my songs and recorded them on CDs for friends and family and so on. In 2020, like so many others during the COVID years, I decided to go public with my music. And of course, I thought the world is waiting for me, and I put my music out on Spotify. And I was really proud because over the years I had learned quite a few things and sound really good. I also thought the songs were good. And yeah, you know, nothing happened. I mean, the occasional stream here and there, but not much more. And then I thought, okay, how can I achieve that my music is listened to, actually? And I ran across SubmitHub and Groover and other services like that where you can send your music to curators of big playlists. And I tried that, and it worked somehow. It worked for 4 weeks. You know, the song went up for 4 weeks in streaming, and then it crashed down again because it fell from the playlist. And it was not really what I thought my music should be listened to, because I wanted an audience that is steadily there, which is really digging my music and wanted to come back. And a friend told me, try Meta Ads. And I had a look at the Meta Ads system, and I found it incredibly complicated. And since I have a full day job, I thought that's just too much stuff to work into. And I didn't do that, although my friend had very impressive results with his system. And then I came across the Hyped It ad automation system. And that was so easy that I thought, okay, you can just try this, right? I mean, it's $9 a month or so. That's the Hyped It fee. And then you try it once, and it literally cost me 10 minutes or so, and the ad was there. And suddenly I saw, all right, so there's something coming in there. There are streams, and there are a lot of streams suddenly. And right, my very first song was a song which I started in February on the Meta Ads with Hyped It. And at the end of the year, I had crossed the 60,000 streams mark with that specific song.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And other songs worked also very well. And yeah, so I can say the Hyped It system really worked. And the very interesting thing is, when you stop a campaign for a specific song, streams are still coming in. There are fans who come back to the song and stream it again. And I also saw on my social media profiles that there were suddenly guys from Chile or from Brazil or from India who developed into actual UAP fans. You know, UAP, that's my outfit. And it's just so heartwarming to see people from foreign countries streaming my music and following me, and who are really interested in what I do. That's amazing.
It feels like real fans.
It feels like real fans. Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's because it is. And just for everybody watching this, what kind of music do you make under UAP? Just so everybody knows what to expect musically.
Yeah, I consider my music to be a part of the retro wave or synth wave genre, which is actually 80s influenced pop music in a sound that's compatible with the 21st century. That is always like I like to explain it, because it's not true 80s pop music, but it is definitely 80s influenced, also influenced by game and movie soundtracks And that's what's called retrowave or synthwave. And there are big bands like The Midnight, also The Weeknd with Blinding Lights. That's to my perception, that's a synthwave song. And so further examples, David Guetta, Let's Love. To my point of view, that's also retrowave. That's what I'm doing, really. Yeah.
Got it. And when you started promoting your music, did you feel like, oh, my music is mainstream, it is very easy to find fans for this genre? Or did you rather feel, my genre is kind of niche, kind of unique? This is actually a little harder to find good fans for it.
I think it is a niche genre. And I even noticed that when I was at Submit Hub still. At Submit Hub, there were like 5 or 10 curators who had this synthwave genre in their playlist. And there are so many curators out there. So I thought, okay, this must be a niche genre because I don't know. I mean, if you're doing this kind of music, you don't really know how big your genre is. I mean, that was a question mark for me. Mm-hmm. And so I just tried to see what's possible with the Hypedit meta ad system. And I didn't really focus so much on the genre. I just said it's new music for indie fans, or it's new music for, I don't know, electronica fans, and tried targeting where I try to find out artists who are doing music like me or by whom I felt inspired, and implemented that in the ad. And so some campaigns worked better, some campaigns worked not so good. And so I got myself, an experience what works and what not works. And I try to implement that into every new campaign. And I think in the end, I now have a picture in my mind, which are the people who are probably liking my music.
Yeah. That's awesome. And something that's interesting is you spoke about earlier how you checked out Facebook and Instagram ads directly on Facebook Ads Manager or directly on the Meta Ads Manager, what it's called now. And it felt off-putting, maybe too complicated. So what was it that felt, oh, this is a lot easier with Hypedit, that could really work for me using this Hypedit software tool?
Yeah, I even tried the growth switch that you once had, where you explained very detailed how you would set up the ads inside the ads manager of Meta. I tried that and I thought, okay, that's cool, but it's way too much effort. And then when I already kind of knew that was the way I wanted to go, but it was too much time consuming. Then came the Hypedit ad automation system, and it was like if I had ordered it. It came just at the right moment, and I just tried it, and it worked instantly. And I thought, okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I mean, I would be just stupid to not try it.
That's amazing. I so appreciate you sharing this. And do you have any cool stories or big wins that happened because of it since you started using it?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest story definitely is my song City Be Your Monster. It was a song of, to be honest, I didn't know there was a hit in there. To me, it was just another song. It had a bit of a special quality to it because it had a very heartwarming lyrics. It's about friendship. It's about a guy who comes into a big city and has his dreams, and the city is not willing to fulfill his dreams. So in the end, the city becomes his monster. The place where he wanted to fulfill his dreams became the place where his dreams were destroyed practically. And I made this as a topic for my song, and it seemed to resonate with so many people. And I would have never reached these people if I would not have tried the Meta ad system. And I remember that I set up an ad and I wrote in there, feeling lonely in the big city, here's a song which you could like. And that was everything that I wrote in the ad. And people immediately, I mean, from the first or second day, people wrote in the comments, oh, this is such a great song, or I feel at home in this song, or I've had this, or I should send it to a friend, or they shared the ad with other people, which is amazing, right? Because, yes. I mean, this is basically advertising, and people share it because they like it.
Yes.
I think that's the highest form that you can achieve with advertising. And I must confess, I've never reached this success again. This was definitely a special song and a special lyrics that resonated with people, but in a way that doesn't matter really, because this song is still pulling people to my playlist, my artist playlist. And so it's also getting power to my other songs, which are on this playlist. And so if you have this special song, and I would like to highlight that the quality of the song is really important also if you are doing the ad system. There's not, I mean, you can't just release the utmost crap and it will go through the roof. The song has to be really good. But if you have a special song, it can be really, really good in result also for your other tracks.
Yes, I love it. The thing that fascinates me the most about Facebook and Instagram as an ad platform is the ability to really laser target an audience for a particular song. And you did this so beautifully by even calling out the emotions of the song in the ad itself when you asked people whether they felt lonely in the big city, and the song connected to this. So to me, the idea that you bring fans to your music that already connect with your message, they already love your style or sound. The only thing that's missing is that they haven't heard of you yet, or they haven't heard your song yet. It becomes such a no-brainer for those fans to really become engaged fans and then come over to Spotify, check you out, follow your playlist, listen to multiple of your songs. And this is a type of powerful promotion that I've not seen on any other platform. So this is very, very hard to replicate. And the fact that you experienced this firsthand and it was such a powerful experience, I think it's just awesome. When you worked with Hyped It, launching these Facebook and Instagram ads, and I know you've campaigned a few songs, are there any tips or tricks that you discovered for yourself as a music artist that you would love to share forward and say, hey, anybody working in Hyped It, anybody promoting their music this way, this is something that really worked amazingly for me, give this a shot?
Yeah, I would encourage people to not only target on similar artists. Of course, it's extremely helpful in the first place. In the first place, you want to find out which artists are kind of similar and then put those into the targeting system. But the ad automation system, it's also possible there to target on other aspects like video games, right, or like other games which are not targeting on artists. And if you have found out who are your strong artists, then I would like to encourage people to also play a bit with other targeting options, like, for example, video games, or for example, specific music styles. I had great results for a friend of mine, and she's doing more in the folk music genre. And there's a big magazine in the US called the US Songwriter Magazine. And I put that into the targeting, and that was, at the end, it was the strongest campaign, stronger than the artist targetings in this campaign.
Yes.
And so that is definitely something people maybe want to try out.
That's awesome. So where Hyped It asks you to put sound-alike artists, and then it generates a set of 5 different interests, you just X some of those out and then put some special custom ones in there instead, such as this magazine.
Absolutely. Also, I had a Christmas song recently, and for the Christmas song, it's obviously hard to name similar artists, because there are very few artists who are so focused on Christmas songs that you can say, okay, this is a Christmas artist.
Yes.
So what I did there is I targeted on Christmas shopping, or I targeted on Christmas tree related things.
Yes.
And that worked also really well. It was a very successful campaign, and it was, given the short amount of time that we had for advertising this song, it was an extremely successful campaign for this short time.
That's awesome. Yeah. No, I appreciate you sharing this. It's so interesting. I think that's a great tip or trick that you're sharing with the audience, that you're sort of paying forward, is to find these niche interests that really work well for your music. And I'm sure there are a few folks watching this video here who make maybe synth pop music or retro wave music, and paying close attention to what has really worked for you, because those might be interests they haven't even considered yet and might work well for their music as well. So really appreciate you sharing that. Now, if somebody's out there, they want to get their music heard on Spotify, they've maybe come across Hyped It or the Spotify growth search, but they're on the edge, is there anything you would want to say to them?
Just try it. I mean, you can just try it for a month. I mean, not try it for a week, you know, because the first week is always kind of underwhelming, so to speak. You can't expect that from one day to the other, suddenly the streams go up like crazy, but it definitely takes a bit of time. But after 4 to 6 weeks, you should really see the campaign going up. And that is also the time that you should really spend. And it definitely is not such a big financial investment if you just want to try it out. As I said, I think Hyped It is $9 a month. And then the ad cost per day is like $5. And so that is also, if you try it for 4 to 6 weeks to just see what happens, it's not such a big investment. And if you see that it definitely is to your benefit, I think it is the best way to build a fan base.
Yes. Rainer, what's your life as a musician like today, now that you are part of the Hyped In and the Spotify Growth Switch community, and you have mastered the art of getting exposure and getting fans for your music? How does it feel?
It feels great, actually. I mean, I get a really good feeling. I know that there are people out there who really like what I do. And they like it not because I tell them to like it, because they decided to like it. And that is really a good feeling, I would say. I would also say that I take myself more serious now. It's not only a hobby anymore. I mean, of course, I'm not earning a big amount of money with it. In the contrary, I'm still putting money in. But I see a development there, and I can see that it complements my day job, which is a promoter for other artists. And I can also use it in my day job for other artists, because I can see my own music as a kind of Frankenstein laboratorium in which I try different things. And when I see that they're working, I can apply them to the artists I'm working with and who are my clients. And so this is a really, really good way to monetize my own campaigns. And so this is how my hobby complements my day job. And I can only say it's the most positive thing that I ran across this year.
Yes, appreciate that. Now, as we're coming to the end of the video here, there are probably some viewers who are just dying to check out your music. Where on Spotify does somebody have to go in order to check out your music?
I would say just search for UAP, which is UANP, and then you will find a guy with sunglasses who looks a bit like me, and I would say that's me. And there you can find my music.
Awesome. And to make this especially easy, I'm also going to leave a link to Rainer's Spotify profile below this video here. So if you want to check out his music and not just do the search, just click the link below the video here and it'll take you right to UAP on Spotify. Rainer, thank you so much.
Fantastic.
It was an amazing pleasure calling home and having the opportunity to speak with you and having you share your story. Thank you so much. And thank you for being part of the Hyped In community.
Yeah, thank you, John. It was all my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Alrighty, cheers.
Cheers.
Want to get your music heard on Spotify with AI? I just launched a brand new video training program called the Spotify Growth Switch, where I show you how to start growing real listeners, real fans, and real streams on Spotify in less than 10 minutes using software and AI. I've used the Spotify Growth Switch system to now grow my music to over 7 million streams and tens of thousands of monthly listeners on Spotify. This works for any music genre. It gets you real fans and listeners super fast, and it's extremely easy to set up, literally just like flipping a spotlight switch for your music. Despite using AI, you don't need to know nothing about tech stuff in order to be successful with this. I've had the tremendous privilege of helping multiple tens of thousands of music artists grow their music on Spotify, many of which have grown to much larger numbers, lots more listeners, lots more streams than I have using the systems that I've taught. Makes me so proud of their success. And so if you want to get more real listeners, real fans, and real streams for your music fast using state-of-the-art software and AI, then click the link below this video and check out the Spotify Growth Switch. I can't wait to help you grow your music on Spotify, and I look forward to seeing you on the inside.